that was this. This was that. Hello, my friends and everybody. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, I'm kind of always stating the obvious and what to do. What's the topic of today, my friend? Should it be about racism, anti-Semitism? Or should it be about people that knows it all? I don't know. It should be about something anew. But today I don't really know what to say. And it is already late. The inspiration for saying is long overdue, but I had to do some important thing today. That's why I had to delay this video. To recollect everything as it was, we view things in a very superficial mode. The first impression. People are saying often, what is it with him? She can't do that. And we belittle people all the way. I was shocked by my own prejudice. When I know those bloggers out there, those feminists and blondists and every bits and part of that, they are showing off with the lips and enhancement everywhere. And maybe they shouldn't go so far because it's not that... I mean to say, the modern style today about young ladies that are really beautiful. Every one of them like to be a blonde caricature of Kardashian. I don't know. It's just how far do you ladies go by this? I see people, don't take it as a criticism, but you see, and I don't believe that it's genuinely only in my generation, but I've seen so many beautiful ladies. And I can go into details. But maybe I will. But for now, I stick to the general terms because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to do comments out of something very prejudiced. But let me introduce this. I don't remember her name because I'm not that into blogists or this tubist or whatever they are. They are exposing themselves in very vulnerable way. They expose how they feel about things, and it's so important that this is that. And one of them, which I didn't have high admiration for, I was just listening to maybe some saying that she had opinions, and I thought that this little lady, it was like a child saying, like this Greta Thunberg, environment activist talking about this and that against those big bosses up there. Greta Thunberg is a brave. The first, we can take her. I had one in mind because she was interviewed by this state-owned broadcasting company, NRK. It's state-owned because we pay to them through our tax money, tax money. And she had some opinions about something, and she said something about something, and she was in fact interviewed on NRK about, I don't remember what, but that's how blonde I am. I didn't catch everything, but she answered in a so mature way that I was shocked by my own prejudice about those bloggers. She was really impressive and had very clear and sober opinions. So you guys take the ladies seriously, and that is my opinion. And this Greta Thunberg, I'm a little bit not so straightforward with her because yes, she is serious. I wouldn't step on any toes here, but I don't care if I step on your toes. Greta Thunberg is a child. She said a lot of eye-opening statements. That is factual. She is an eye-opener, but she is so angry, and no one can deny her that. No one should react on that. But I have some bad feeling about her because she was portrayed in a documentary on television about her, and that was quite interesting, and it showed maybe part of this was not entirely as an environment this environment activist. I think she was a girl. I'm not ashamed to say it, but she seemed to be a girl that wasn't really taken seriously by anybody. And you see, when a child grow up, and I want to say that from the deepest in my heart, because children, they are concerning me. Either people misuse them, like incest and all this kind of stuff that is not even I shouldn't be talking about that because it's too deep, it's too hard to just expose that is bad. Yes, for sure, that is so bad. It is criminally bad. But when parents and grown-ups doesn't take children seriously. You see, when I had small children, and I think that remains to be asked, and I think they have been asked, my children, do you feel that your father take you seriously? And they say yes. And and those times, the daughter was maybe still maybe around 10, 11 years old, and she was still in school, and she was having a meeting with the parents at school. And she asked me in the car with her mom, Papa, are you coming to this parents meeting at school. Are you joining us? And I kind of got drift, because she's not that open with everything. You have to catch it. You have to fish. And with children, they are so smart, they are so impressive, that if you just take that into consideration, you have to really listen to the children with both of your ears. Not only the cry in the one ear, but also the why they cry. So be very, very observant to your children. Take them seriously. So we went to the class, yes, but I replied the question with something like, is it something you need to talk about in the classroom with the teacher? Should I be aware of something? I asked, just out of what is happening now. But I touched it, just barely touched it, and asked, what is on your mind? And she told me. And when we came to the classroom with the teacher, and she was quite, you see, the average, the general opinion about the teachers is that now we are talking about your child. Not me. Not me as a teacher. No, we are talking now, we are concentrating now on your child. That is one trick they have up their sleeves. And parents, they don't know when it's coming. They are not aware of it, because the teacher is a professional, he or she is a PhD, and so on. So you have this very obedient, we have to be adequate to the teacher. We have to have high respect. As a lady I overheard said, the teachers, they need our deepest respect. So the case here for my child, I brought up, because it was not up to this child of mine to bring up, because that demanded bravery, and that kind of bravery no child should have. You have to preserve and protect their innocence. That's the name of that game. With children, you have to preserve and defend and protect their vulnerability and their child innocence. So I said to this teacher that I hear that you expose my daughter in front of the class, and when she asks for help, you don't really listen. You demand that people here have to understand, yet that's on you. So if this behavior of yours, I told her right to her face, if this kind of behavior, according to my daughter, which is experiencing this, and I can't take this lightly, I can't defend you as a teacher, I have to defend my daughter. That is the name of my game. I have to defend her, because no one else will do that. So you can put the record straight and change that behavior. And she, yes, Is it how I am perceived? And so on. So that was a good case to bring to the teacher. But many parents aren't that very observant. So you come to people with a prejudiced mind, and this Greta Thunberg, I had prejudice about her, of course, because you listen to what is said about this. Someone loves her. Someone doesn't really have any respect for her. But this is a child, in my opinion, but I can't state that for a fact. I have to show that respect, but Greta Thunberg is a child, in my opinion, that haven't been really listened to. Why does people become activists? Is it because they have some drive? Maybe she will disagree with me. But I'm just merely stating an argument, a point, that children, I can take myself as an example. When you are not listened to, when you always are doubted, when they always overrule your opinion, even your feelings. They said to me, "You are so sensitive." And they couldn't comprehend my sensitivity. They couldn't even handle it. That shows how social crippled they were. How crippled they were in order to handle that kind of sensitivity. You can't take all the sensitivity into a box and say, "We will obey," because that is dictatorship. People use their sensitivity in order to rule other people. That's a fact. They are so sensitive, they are so vulnerable, they are so grow up. But I may contradict myself now. I hear that. But there is people that aren't listened to, that becomes activists. They have so high drive or need to be heard. So I think that Greta Thunberg just jumped on this climate change, this environment problems that you can state. It's a kind of a given that many places in the world are intoxicated and needs to be improved. But I doubt really that the world is going to get so fumed of this gas that we are all going to die, because you see the environment is getting greener, and still there are minus temperature. There are winter and summer. It haven't changed, but I'm not going into that debate now. That's just a statement. I don't dispute Greta Thunberg or other people. It's that I just don't entirely agree with them. They become so furious about different opinions. So that's their way of handling that. And when she cried officially, this Greta Thunberg, it was kind of a non-tolerance of dispute, non-tolerance of contradictory arguments. It was only one way, and her way. And that's a spoiled brat. No one can rule that way, but But the whole world, the Western world, defended her. It was kind of the new age, the Greta Thunberg age. I don't make a joke of her, but she became icon of something misunderstood. So when I heard about the bloggers and so on, I got a different opinion when I really looked into their life, their individual answers. They had so much profound wisdom. If we could protect and preserve and that kind of innocence of every human being that is driven by this force of being an activist, to say something like my little daughter back then. Sometime later, we have to also defend their rights. It's putting something straight and putting something before the other. When the workplace are demanding, we had to say stop. You can demand so much, but you can't break the border. You can't break the limit. We are humankinds. I have been sick lately, and I can't force myself to do something I will just be tormented by. When I force myself to do something which I feel I owe it to my audience and so on. No, I have to admit that there are limits. And to say no is a degree of strength that you need. You need that kind of strength to say no, as well as you can dispute or reject those that praise you up there. Those that are paid up there, they need the strength to say no. And you need also to grow up in order to be not so naive to what they are telling you about you. You are so marvelous, you are so genius, and so on. This is just bogus speaking. People that talk like that haven't something else important to talk about. It should be about life. Life is, we need to explore life. We need to explore ourselves in regard, in communion with others. So when we are prejudiced to others, to our children, because we have some hang-ups on our egoistic, we are so preoccupied with ourselves that we can't see others. In order to get to see others, you need to get out. You need to see others for real. Someone put some earplugs and listen to the music and preoccupied with that. Someone wears sunglasses and they can't see their eyes. I want to see you for real, my friend. That's my notion. That's me. I like to see the eyes and be heard. And I like to see you and that I can hear you. I want to touch you. No one is not important. The importance is your life, is your path. Maybe you as a person is not that important, but your way in life, how you deal with your situation, how you perceive yourself is very interesting because it can be improved. Everybody needs something to believe in themselves, so that they don't lose hope in this world. And the worst enemy is to be a prejudiced naysayer, like me. I was prejudiced. And I learned in many phases in my life. I can say that with an honest voice. In many phases in my life, I have learned and understood that I was very prejudiced. I was a racist. And I looked at other people in a bad way, in a belittling way. I had to learn to come deeper with myself. Because when you take people seriously, you also take yourself seriously. People that doesn't take people serious aren't really serious themselves. They don't even listen to them. If you feel that your friend, brother, sister, parents doesn't take you seriously, know this. They are not serious themselves with themselves. Maybe they are thriving people. They are success-seeking people. Maybe they are fortune and fame-seeking people. Is that important, my friend? Is to be famous and rich important? What is the value you have in your mind? Is it to be rich and important? Is it to prosper with work and acknowledgement that people are almost begging you? Begging you for what? I mean to say, they are almost praising you up there. You are the famous star. No one should sit on that throne. Be on the throne of truth. It's easier to forget when you know. It's harder to forgive when you don't know the person in hand. It's easy to overcome yourself when you know yourself and are known, that you can lean back, be relaxed with other people. And Jesus said, you will come into my peace. And when he said that, I believe in my heart that that is to say, when we know ourselves, of course, Jesus, if we know Jesus, but I don't talk about Jesus because it seems to be very superficial like that. But if you come to your own understanding, if you take yourself not as a prejudiced mind, that you are living up to a certain image, but when you can level out yourself and be honest, admitting life, that you are who you are, that's when you will have peace. That's the peace you can't overrule. That's peace without fear, because you know how you are, who you are. So be at peace, my friend. Don't be a prejudiced and a naysayer. That is fear.